This is going to be a Ravens-themed Davis division.
Oh.
And I'm excited for it because I have seen something in the news that I have not seen before. It's 2019. It's Friday, the end of the week. It's April 26th to be exact. That's what I had to look up the exact date because I wanted to paint a picture for you.
Oh, the first day of the NFL draft.
It's the second day of the NFL draft. But round 1 has already passed. We're kind of at the back end of the day. Round 2 has already passed, and it's round 3. Pick 66. The Steelers are on the clock. They decide to pick a wide receiver.
Diontae Johnson?
Correct. Out of Toledo, named Diontae Johnson. Now, Diontae Johnson had a pretty good career with the Steelers. He had 391 catches, a little over 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns. He had a Pro Bowl nod in 2021, which was Big Ben's last season. But since then, it has been a little rocky. He was traded to the Panthers last offseason because they were like, okay, well, we need to build around Bryce Young. This might be a weapon for him. Didn't work out in Carolina. Then he got traded to the Ravens. After the Ravens, he completely refused to play football. Just flat out refused to play football. He said, hey, I'm just not wanting to play. I don't want to catch the ball anymore. I don't want to do what I get paid to do. So I'm good. I'm just done.
I'm good.
Okay. He gets waived by the Ravens. Okay. Waived by the Ravens in December of, let me make sure I get this date right. We'll just say December 2024. He just got waived by the Ravens. Okay. The Texans said, hey, well, Tank Dell's injured. Let's pick up a wide receiver that we think could be of use, so give us a little bit of depth.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a couple games of the Texans, and now Diontae Johnson, all dressed up to play the Chargers, only gets 1 target. And the Texans decide to be gone with Diontae Johnson. They waived Diontae Johnson. So there's only a couple teams now that could pick up Diontae Johnson. Remember, I told you earlier, this is a Raven-themed Davis division. Diontae Johnson was picked up by his former team, the Baltimore Ravens. And that's not what I haven't seen before. This is what I haven't seen before. Because the Ravens claim Diontae Johnson, they will now earn a I can't even say that word.
Compensatory.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Compensatory.
Selection. Yes. And I'm a comm major and I couldn't even make that out as I was reading it. Selection for the 2026 draft. That's embarrassing. But Diontae Johnson will qualify as an unrestricted free agent come February 10th. Because of that, they will get that pick. Now, the Ravens, because they are a younger franchise, they have the most of those compensation picks. I'm going to say that. In the league since that began in 1994 with 56. With these picks, they've picked people like Kyle Juszczyk, Old Juice, Isaiah Likely, a tight end, and they picked a punter named Sam. Oh, I don't even know. I don't want to say his last name because I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. But we'll just call him Sam because I think it is a how it's pronounced. I think it is also a word for male genitalia. So I'm gonna keep it out. We'll just call him Sam, the punter. So
Sam penis?
No.
Oh. It's like what?
No.
It's like what? Wait, so the Ravens get a comp pick for signing the guy they cut?
Yes, that is the weird thing. They claim him. Now they will be able to get this pick depending on the contract he signs in free agency. Okay? So say he signs with the Texans again. Okay? The Ravens, based on that Texan selection, that's how their pick will be gauged in 2026. So you know how draft order works.
Oh, yeah.
The better the team. So it depends on the team of the pick. And
Which is a fair
and
point.
yes, Jack is right. The amount of money he gets is also a factor. Jack is right. The amount of money he gets is also a factor. So
That's wild.
I'm telling you all of this, and I know there's always a question at the end of my explanation for Diontae Johnson, whatever. So this is true. If Diontae Johnson decides to sign with maybe a rival, hey, he went to the Steelers, he went to the Ravens, maybe goes to the Browns or Bengals. If he decides to sign with anybody but the Ravens, then the Ravens get that pick. Do you think the Ravens will use it wisely? Because right now they're in a playoff spot. Picks are of the essence, especially when you're building to win a Super Bowl. And right now that's what they're doing. So they get this pick. Do they use it wisely? What do the Ravens do with it? And just kind of tell me your thoughts on everything I have just blurted out to you, MJ.
So first of all, it's wild to me that after how Diontae Johnson acted, that the Ravens bring him back. I recognize that they are in a unique situation. He's somebody who hypothetically knows their playbook, and so I understand kind of what they're going for. That, I mean, I guess it's a very low risk, super high reward if somehow he goes out, balls out, and does an incredible job for Baltimore. Who knows? The only thing I would say is I don't think he gets a contract worthy of actually meaning anything. I think that's like maybe a late 6th-round comp pick, which that's cool and all for somebody like the Ravens who need to bring some more youth in. That's awesome, but I don't think it actually does enough to make it worth it to bring him back and potentially cause the problems that it will cause, if that makes sense. If that logic adds up to you, Connor, I just don't think it will create enough. I really just don't think it'll create enough positive outcome based off of how much it could mess it up.
Well, the reason I explained that to you, the reason I told you that is because I really wanted to shed light on someone like Isaiah Likely. You know, you have somebody like Mark Andrews for the Ravens. You're like, okay, this is our guy. He's been a great tight end for the last couple of years. But this year it seemed like it was the Isaiah Likely show. And that's what I really wanted to shed light on, because if you're someone like Isaiah Likely, or even a fan like me, not Isaiah Likely because his mindset was great. He ended up becoming, I think, the starter for the Ravens after this season. A mindset like me, it's like, okay, you pick somebody like that to be depth. Usually 6th-round picks. If they shine, they're usually a depth piece, right? Isaiah Likely ended up being more than that. So you use your 6th-round pick wisely. You could end up getting a depth piece. You could end up getting a starter. You could end up getting a Diontae Johnson who you just decide to waive. So the Ravens are in a not a predicament, but they're in a pretty good place considering they played this so smart, MJ, by signing Diontae Johnson. I mean, it could have been a bag of chips and a Diet Coke they signed him for. And now they're going to get a pick out of it, depending on, where he goes.
Yeah. It's smart. It's smart. I agree.